Shit, welcome back to another podcast of Before and Afters. And today, we're not going to do a Before and Afters.
So suck it.
Yeah, we like to change things up. And you guys have been asking, like, hey, can you do more Before and Afters? But no. We will, but not today.
When you guys stop asking for it.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we will do the opposite of what people ask us to do.
Yeah, because we're badasses.
Yeah, we're not a bunch of sheep.
No.
Yeah, it's been 6 months, I think, or what is it, September now. Our last one was Tiger King. That must have been February.
Oh.
Something like that. It must have been 6 months since the last podcast we did. We're both living in new places.
Oh, yeah, huge changes going on the Before and After boys.
Yeah, I know. No more studio. We'll have to figure out a new studio setup.
Yeah, I like this whole table with the bananas.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're healthy, right?
Are they going to pay us to sponsor us or something? Dole Bananas?
You know what I noticed?
I don't think anyone's ever been sponsored by them before. Dole Bananas. I'm going to get a Dole Banana. Is it Dole? Am I even saying that right?
I feel like this gives away the little light that we've hidden here.
Oh, dear.
Oh, whoops. You know what? So like, we've been buying these bananas, and they come with these little marketing stickers. I don't know where they're now, but they're Finding Nemo stickers. I'm like, wasn't Finding Nemo a movie that came out like 20 years ago?
So you're thinking these are really old bananas?
Well, either they've been in the freezer for a long time, or wherever these come from, some South American country, Finding Nemo is still super hot. Hip.
Probably, because like he's a fish. There's a lot of fish down there.
It's like their national anthem.
Yeah, national anthem. Finding Nemo. The whole movie before a football game, they just play Finding Nemo. Oh, that'd be great.
Imagine that. Yeah, I was perplexed. I would say.
What did you do with them? Are you like collecting them?
The stickers?
Yeah.
No, clearly they're gone. I don't know where they are. Yeah, I don't know. What will you do with a Finding Nemo sticker?
But you've lost yours, so now we could make a new one, like Finding Nemo stickers.
But the weird thing is, after Finding Nemo, we had a movie called Finding Dory. Why are they not Finding Dory stickers? Either they're sexist, or two, they don't know there's another movie out. And then South America is up for a treat.
Maybe they just don't want to find Dory.
Maybe their version of Finding Nemo never found Nemo.
Yeah.
So there can't be a second movie.
They put him on milk cartons.
Alternative ending. Have you been watching anything lately?
Watching? Oh,
like besides the football people?
I have.
Now that you live on a corner.
Seeing as this is a show that's generally about movies and TV.
Yeah.
Yes, I started watching Raised by Wolves.
Yes.
Which I'm thoroughly enjoying. And it's a sci-fi series I'm enjoying for the first time in a long time.
And this is a Ridley Scott directed, produced.
He doesn't direct all of them.
Episode,
like all TV shows. He did the first one, right? He'd probably do the last one as well. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But it's really good.
You like it?
Yeah, it's like the sci-fi horror. Like, I think I said before, and you're like, horror? And I'm like,
is it really horror?
Come on, man. It's definitely, like, she's creepy.
She's creepy, but
she's a really good actress.
I wouldn't say it's like, she's like this Scandinavian.
Well, what about, like, they're wandering down, and, like, there's freaking ghost children wandering about. There's, like, people getting led astray. It's
a bit unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I totally agree. I've been watching it as well. I've been about 5 episodes in, and yeah, it's great production value, and it's one of those. I was saying, like, it has like the movie quality, but for a TV show, right? Which I guess is not that uncommon anymore these days, but still, like, and then having a good story, it's been really engaging.
That's the one. I think that's the thing, is like, I can live with less than ideal visuals for TV shows. Like, I get it. I can just suspend that disbelief. I know it's a TV show, but like the writing is generally like, there's that channel that's dedicated to this stuff, like the Sci-Fi Channel, and like 90% of it is garbage, right? Like, just throw a trope after trope, and it's like the actors look like they're like should be on soap operas,
right?
And, everyone looks perfect, like they, and like that soap opera look, like everyone's all, even though it will be a post-apocalyptic sci-fi, and everyone's like looks all posh and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is but this is really good. Like, I think she's a really good actress. Like, she's always kind of switching between
Mother.
being unsettling, like really unsettling, and then you kind of feel sorry or empathy for it, and then you're back to being like, oh, this is creepy, not human type character. But I'm not a huge fan of the Vikings guy.
Oh, the military dude on the
Yeah, like I just don't like Travis Himmel, I think his name is,
like
the actor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's basically playing the same character. Like he's
Was
playing
he
a
in
different.
Vikings?
He's the main guy from Vikings.
Ah, okay. I've never seen Vikings.
Oh, he has like the same. He just has brought over the same mannerisms he uses in that, like the way he sort of lags without saying anything before he'll sort of offer a couple of words here and there, and the way he does like these kind of weird facial twitches, expressions, and I'm just like, I got it. In Vikings, it was kind of like, oh, cool, this is unique. But now I'm just like, you can't do the same thing again, can you? You can't just keep playing the same guy. Like, this guy feels like he should be more unique than this.
Well, it's like what I've been learning in the last couple of years, and I don't know why, but like, yeah, there's a lot of actors out there that just always play themselves, right? Like, they just play a slightly different version of themselves. And maybe this guy's like one of those people. He doesn't bother me too much, but their story arc, like the whole survivors of the arc,
Yeah.
basically, I'm not completely convinced yet. They're a little bit annoying, like making all these really obvious mistakes that make everything so much harder.
Right.
Trying to save the children basically, but they're not really doing anything to save them. But there's some cool stuff. I mean, in general, like I totally agree with you. Like, it's a great show. It seems to have a lot of depth, cool themes, nice pacing. Yeah, her being like a necromancer is like, it's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
She seems to be. She's one of those necromancers seem to be super powerful though.
Right.
And we're just kind of wondering, like, is it too much? Like, where she is just basically almost unstoppable.
Yeah, but I think that's almost like the point. Like, the fact that you still kind of wonder if she's a good character. Like, there's this duality of that character, like between its new programming and slipping back into its old programming. That's kind of what, like, she's kind of a Terminator in a way, right?
Right. Yeah. Is she doing this for the survival of humanity, or is she fucking it all up basically?
Yeah.
By bringing that whole arc down and.
But I agree. I think like I find that the story of the survivors of the crash, the religious cult guys, like I mean, maybe we'll see how it plays out for the rest of the series, but I feel like it's teetering on being a little bit of a cliche.
Yeah.
Like the character, like the religious fanatic characters in
with their followers.
With their followers who are all religious fanatics, and they're infiltrated by these smarter guys who aren't. And I'm kind of like this. I feel like there could be a bit more nuance there, and I feel like with, I'm up to the point where he's hearing voices, and like the military guy, like the other military guys, like backing him, and I'm interested in that being more. There being more of that sort of political side, like
right.
He's a military leader, so he can overrule the more pacifist religious leader, like people, by almost like a military coup, but keeping the religion in it slightly. So there's like more like he's not religious, and those other leaders are, other soldiers are, but do they want to? But it's that religion is important to them as having a military leader. Is he becoming? It's like I feel like that could be more interesting. And the fact that he's hearing these voices, does he become converted, or is he conflicted? Like, these are interesting ideas to me, as opposed to all these other guys are super stupid religious fanatics and he's the only smart one. Like, that's very trope, I think.
Right.
And like the Eminence guy who ended up getting burnt, he was basically the biggest trope. Like, super sleazy.
Yeah.
Says all this super pious stuff but doesn't believe any of it. I'm like, here we go again. Like, we're just going down this path.
Like, yeah, it's a bit familiar, I suppose.
Right. Like, it's just like that's how any religious fanatics are portrayed in anything these days. And I'm like, I thought this was going to be a bit more nuanced. But I mean, I think it
maybe
could
a bit less about religion and a bit more about politics, maybe.
Yeah. Like, I was hoping it was going to be a bit more that way. And I think it could be. So we'll see.
Where do you think this is going to go?
That's what I really don't know. That's what's interesting. Like, if I was to make assumptions, of what I would like to see it go. I'd like to see it start flipping on who's good and bad again. Like the guy who's in charge, the Vikings guy. I would like to see him start becoming a bit of a heretic in a way, like a fanatic. Like as he starts hearing these voices, he becomes baddie in the fact that he starts becoming religious nut.
Trying to, like, kind of pulling away from his lady friend.
Yeah, and becoming like starting to believe in the stuff that he was pretending to believe in order to get where he is.
Because like the idea is that he probably fought against the soul people back on Earth,
and he didn't, and he obviously hates androids, and he doesn't believe, and he hates the idea of believing in this thing.
Yeah,
but now he's in a leadership position. He's hearing these voices. I'm like, I wanted to start doubting himself, and if he like doubts himself and actually turns, it would be quite a character arc, but in a negative way, which would be interesting for somebody, while some of the other characters are having positive.
Well, I guess that makes sense, right? Because like he is an infiltrator. He was. I felt like when they kind of introduced him as the bad guy, trying to infiltrate the good guys to survive, basically, getting right. I don't want to get too much into details for spoiler stuff, but it would make sense if he then also kind of starts to falter again. But at the same time, they're also, you'd think that they have the right to get their children back. Yeah. Because like the necromancer basically just took the children, and it's hard to see her as a good character too, because she's been so brutal, and like she has been obviously trying to progress or like save the humanity by like splitting off and starting this little colony on the side. But at the same time, like she's kind of trying to do the same thing as these soul people, just without the religion.
That's the thing, but that's what I find is real interesting, is it's like, I think that's the idea of this show, is it's like the concept of belief in religion and faith is kind of all wrapped up, because it feels like without knowing it, she's basically doing that anyway. Like, she has her creator and like is following his directives.
She has her belief.
Yeah.
Which she's like, oh, but he's real. She believes in nothing.
Yeah. And she's like, but he's real. It's not the same. And it's like, yeah, but she doesn't think of, he's dead or whatever. And like, she only has what she has, these perceived memories of him. So it's basically a faith that those are real, right?
But that's like what you could say about science as well, right? Like all of us that believe and follow science, which I consider myself one of them. It's like, it is just, like it's just another belief system, really. And like it's founded, like it's based on something. But if you would talk to someone who's Christian or whatever, they feel that their information is based and founded on something too.
Right. But the other thing I find interesting is the fact that it's almost playing with you can't remove some of these things completely because they're part of the human condition, if that makes sense. Like, they talk very matter-of-factly to these kids. Like, you're gonna, like, you're, to the girl who's pregnant, like, you are part of, like, rebirth and stuff like this. And, like, they talk to their son, and it's like, oh, we need to kill these things because they're food. And he's like, I don't want to do this because I think it's wrong.
Right.
And she's like, I don't want to do this because I just don't want to and I shouldn't have to. And the androids can't grasp these concepts.
This resistance
because it's not logical.
It doesn't compute with their values.
Because they just have this logical way of looking at things, and it's like,
well, very binary, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's the one. And it's like, but being human is not to have that. Like,
it's so organic.
It's organic. It's emotion, and they don't get those things. So it's like,
there's a lot of friction, right? Like you notice a lot of friction, but that's where Father is like kind of like a useless character, because at least Mother is still like, she's quite a strong, like, leading character, but Father is just a slave, really.
It is.
Like, he just needs to do the chores that she doesn't want to do.
But that's what makes him a great character, I think, is because he knows he's like, it's like if he's battling with being useless, and it's like it's he's not just a useless character. It's like he knows that he's kind of basically a useless character too, and it's like battling with like, what is my point of my existence?
And he notices all the bad things Mother is doing, but at the same time, his objective is also to serve her.
Yeah.
And so he's like this conflicted character where it's just like, should I protect the children or should I follow the orders, basically? Yeah. Where's he gonna go? I don't know.
I
think in the end, the necromancer will have to go. Like, she can't survive. I think. Plus, she's not human, so it wouldn't really hurt for that character to kind of die.
Very good show. Very interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of thought-provoking sci-fi elements, which is the point, I think, of sci-fi.
I think the Viking guys, together with his wife and the children, are the ones that will remain at the end.
You reckon?
That's what I think. What do I know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's a good theory. That's true.
Any rants?
Oh, yeah. I do actually have one. How dumb are tandem bicycles?
Oh, shit. You said this the other day. Yeah, you don't see the efficiency of them at all.
Well, it's not even that. Like, it's not just efficiency. Like, I can understand inefficient things being there for a feeling, right? Like, people say, oh, you know, tandem bikes, it's like kind of, it could be romantic, it could be a fun, like, activity for two people to do. It's not. Like, you can't have a conversation with each other, like, either because one person's in front, one person's behind. You're traveling.
Like kayaking.
Yeah, but even less, like, makes less sense, because at least on the water you're away from everything, it's quiet. You're riding down the street, like you're riding on the seawall, like you can't hear shit. Like, so whoever's in the back is in the slipstream of whoever in the front's farts. Like, you can't talk to each other without turning around, and you can't see what you're doing. Like, you're not as efficient as just pedaling two people on two separate bikes riding next to each other.
So you'd say it's different from a tandem kayak?
Yeah, kayak. I think so. Because a tandem kayak also makes more sense as it's more efficient. Like,
I actually wonder, though. Because, like, maybe it is in the sense that you kind of, like, both pedal at the same time. But when we were kayaking, and maybe this is just has to do with us more so than with the kayak, but I felt like we were kind of fighting each other a lot as well. Like, you know how we couldn't keep it straight.
Yeah, that was us. That's us. That's like we're not compatible.
Just being
But
was it because I was taking photos in the back?
That probably didn't help. Just having a snooze. No, but like,
well, you couldn't see, so that was why I was.
The other thing about the kayak though is like one double kayak, it kind of takes up less space than two single kayaks, just the way that they're built, right?
Yeah.
But a tandem bicycle takes up basically the exact same amount of room as two bikes. It's very different, like slightly different. But now, if it's two bikes, you can take them the same places you can take a tandem. Probably easier even, because like where the fuck do you store a tandem if you get to a bike lock that's sticking out in the street? Yeah. So but if you're on separate bikes, you can slow it up, slow it down, go a little bit different, ride side by side, have a talk. Like a tandem bicycle is literally a piece of garbage.
Well, I mean, I definitely, like when you mention tandem bicycles, I'm like, to me, they've died so many times. Like, I'm surprised that they're still around, right? Like, it's never been a thing, but there's always a couple popping up here and there. And it's like, one, who keeps making them?
Yeah.
Who thinks it's a viable market to make a lot of money?
Certainly
who keeps buying them? And yeah,
I feel like no one buys them. I feel like, okay, so this is the only reason I can imagine.
They were made like 50 years ago, and they just keep getting, like, people just keep throwing them away.
Yeah.
And other people find them, and it's like, hey, this is what is this? This should be fun.
I reckon they rent them out. Like, I reckon it's the sort of thing where two people are like, you know, let's do a fun romantic activity this weekend, and they're like, let's get on a tandem bicycle, and then they hire it for 3 hours, and then they get on it, and they're like, this was a dumb idea, but we're locked in for 3 hours now. We just got to ride it.
In your farty slipstream for 3 hours.
And we had 3 hours of riding around without talking to each other, because I'd be like, hey, and someone's like, huh? What?
And then they crash into
something, and like,
yeah, I mean, in one way I can kind of see the fun romantic side of it, but at the same time I also see what you're saying about, like, if you just have two bikes, you can just ride next to each other.
It's in concept it's a fun romantic thing, but in reality it's
that's
not.
Where it comes from, right? Like, in concept, someone is like, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we just had a bike and we both sit on it, and like it's just one bike but it's for two people, you don't have to sit on the luggage carrier, like you can help me pedal. Yeah, like we're two people becoming one thing, and it's like, people will love this, let's make it. And then no one gets it except for those 5 idiots that do, and then those get passed down over the years.
You can't corner it as well because it's too long. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw those.
How often do you see them?
You see one every, I don't know, if you're on the seawall or something like that, there's always one.
Oh, right.
And
well, I haven't seen.
It's annoying to try and pass them.
In years.
Oh, you just blocked it out. Like I don't blame you. Like
It's like I don't see them anymore.
yeah, they're an eyesore. They are. Like you see them and you're like, this is just wasted metal.
Do you think this is an older people thing?
No,
I can't really see young people getting on it.
I think it's dangerous for old people. Like how
Right.
they easily fall over and hurt themselves.
Like the first person stops paddling, starts to and then I can see that, and then they hit the ground, break their hip, get COVID, die.
Well, it should exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be for anyone, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Old people, young people, no one should.
No one should be on like tandem bicycles. I think that should be made illegal.
So
Phased
what
out.
about small children, like 5-year-olds? Like you have like twins, or like you have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they're both on the same bike, and like if one stops pedaling, at least the other one will drag the other child along.
No.
No?
Get them on separate bicycles. Like
Right.
if you need to tie
But
those.
then they can shoot off in all these different directions, and you don't, like who are you going to save? Are you going to save your 5-year-old, your 7-year-old? Like.
Oh, are they both heading towards doom in this scenario?
Well, no. I mean, like, but at least even if one veers off, it means that you have to make a decision here. Like, who are you going to go after? They're both on their own little bicycles. They're going downhill, and one is just like, I'm going to the right.
Yeah.
And you're like, Daddy Rory, and he's like, oh, what would you call your son?
Not Daddy Rory.
Frank. It's like, Frank, no, where you going, Frank? And then it's like, oh shit, I gotta save Frank. But then Rupert over here.
Oh fuck, Frank's getting saved. Like if I called a kid Rupert, like that kid, I didn't care. I obviously didn't care about them.
Rupert doesn't
Because of an extra
would Rupert
push.
be the second or the first child? It's like let's call the first child Rupert because we can
It's a
fuck
test.
that one
It's
up.
a test model. Rupert 0.0.
Okay, all right. So Rupert dies. I see.
And if they're on a tandem bicycle, like I don't know, they're probably both going to die. Like
Right. If you have a tandem bicycle,
don't subscribe. Unsubscribe from us,
Unsubscribe.
and then go burn
Fuck
that
off.
thing, and then have a good long think about what you're doing with your life.
yeah. I mean, you can always post why you think why it is a good idea to have a tandem bike, but we're not going to listen.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear if you've got reasons why tandem bicycles aren't a bane on this world, tell me, because like I can't wait to tear that argument to pieces because it can't hold water.
You know what you were ranting about like a while back? You were ranting about TikTok.
Oh, listen, not giving start there.
I'm just going to drop these little nuggets. You must be pretty excited about this imminent ban that actually may or may not happen. But
No, you know what I think? Like, I can't wait for this ban to happen and it's not because it's going to stop TikTok, because it's not. I just can't wait till kids are selling like shitty phones with TikTok installed for like, it's like, this is a jailbroken phone with
like
TikTok.
like crack.
Yeah, it's like,
you get your illegal TikTok.
That'll become a new currency. It's going to be the new Bitcoin. It's like unlocked phones with TikTok on them.
That would be amazing.
Like, I mean,
all
like,
these like gangster kids, like with their money made from TikTok sales and stuff.
people aren't going to be selling. You'll see people walking around like looking all dodgy at schools. They're not going to be selling drugs. They're going to be selling unlocked phones with TikTok.
I guess like it wasn't that different from like back in the day when you jailbreak your phone and people would, you'd pay a friend for you to jailbreak it and stuff.
Oh, exactly.
Now you pay someone to install TikTok for you.
Honestly, that's what's going to happen. Like, people are going to be like, they're going to be at school and it's going to be like, hey, have you got TikTok on your phone? It's like, no, I couldn't get it. It's like, well, you suck.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
look
not
at
gonna
this
be your
lame
friend.
ass kid.
You
who's
look
either-
like a Rupert to me.
You obviously never had a phone in time for TikTok. Like, it's not going to stop TikTok.
So what is your problem with TikTok?
It's just a stupid use. It's a pointless app, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, like, only because we tried to make an hour-long podcast and these kids only have 15 seconds, like attention spans.
Yeah, but like, people say, oh, you can watch like 20, 25 TikToks in 10 minutes. Yeah, but it's like, you might as well just watch one because it's the same shit. It's just a kid with this like generic like user face that they haven't made like a character creation, but they haven't made one yet, and it's like they're doing a dance, and then like someone else does the same fucking dance,
But someone else might do it better or worse.
it's the same. Like, it's not like it's a dance that takes any skill. It's just like some arm pumps and then a spin around. Like,
Have you been watching a lot of these TikToks?
so I hadn't seen TikTok, and then this is going way back. This is like Alana showed me TikTok, and I was like, what are they doing? She's like, oh, this is what they do. And then they have houses.
I love that you need Alana to show you what's cool these days.
Well, this is the thing. Like, as a young man, as a youth, even,
Are you talking about yourself?
yeah. I'm saying like
Wait, so you go back in time, or you feel like you're a young man?
No.
In your youth?
In my youth,
Oh,
in my early youth,
right.
I used to think to myself, you know, back in the day when I'd be listening to the radio and my parents would come in and be like, what is this garbage, you know? And you're like, oh, you're so out of touch. And so I was like, I'm not going to be there to this. And I stay up to date with like whatever's, like, I just like stuff if it's cool, like if it's, you know, if it's good, like if music trends or whatever, I'll like entertainment trends, I'm going to be up to date. I'm not going to be lame old man who doesn't get it.
Yeah.
But then I saw this TikTok shit and I was like, I don't get it.
I'm becoming that person.
And I was like, I'm becoming that person. You know what? If this is what like is cool, then I'm okay with that because this is so dumb. Like I swear, like for all the dumb fads that we had in our youth, and there were some dumb fads, like nothing is as just banal and stupid as this. Like it's just so stupid. Like there's just nothing from it. I don't understand. It's not like anyone's like even mastering. Like you know, we had this thing back home when I was a kid called chatterings. Have you ever heard of chatterings?
No.
Basically, it's like a ring, like a hula hoop style ring, and it's got the nut like bolts on it. And if you spin those bolts, then this, you know, the momentum keeps them going, and then you can spin the ring around and do tricks with them and like keep these things spinning. It's a dumb toy, but like it takes some skill to do shit with it.
It sounds like a yo-yo.
Yeah, basically. It's
Right.
like you just go with yo-yos as well. Like yo-yos are dumb, but like people who can do tricks with yo-yos, it takes some skill to learn how to do those. Like TikTok doesn't take nothing. You just literally just.
But I don't understand really the problem.
Well, like why are you entertained by something so nothing? It's like TikTok is basically like turning on TV because you want to watch the ads. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure it's the same though.
It is.
It's like kids that are like they're liking these dance moves. Like apparently it's all about little dance moves, but I'm sure TikTok is more than that. But like, I mean, what is wrong with watching people do dance moves?
Well, there's nothing like.
I mean, it's not for me either, but like, I don't feel as old as you are, where it's like these kids these days they don't.
What I don't understand is like a guy like somebody who's famous on TikTok like just does basically 100 videos of the same thing every day and has 500 million views. Like, who wants to see that?
Yeah, but that's kids though, right? Like we were watching Dragon Ball Z, where like you know, over 25 episodes he's like powering up, and that's what we thought it was awesome. And here's just like a bunch of, you know, kids with too much free time. They're just watching, you know, their 10-second. Like it's a lot easier to get 5 million views if your video is only 10 seconds long.
That's true.
Than to try and watch like 5 million times 20
That's what
minutes.
everyone wants to be. This is what they're like aspiring to be.
A TikTok star.
TikTok star. Like everyone's like, I don't know. I think it's destroying the youth.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to be fine.
I don't know.
I've never
I've
touched
watched
TikTok, and it's probably not for me either. But
I feel like it's kind of like the pinnacle of the fucked up social media that we live with these days. Like, have you? Like, I saw that documentary.
Oh yeah,
Connected.
The
Social dilemma. That's the one. Yeah. And I'm like, I was
On
like
Netflix,
on
by the way.
Netflix. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, this is, you know, when they talk about freaking, you know, pre-18-year-old girls, like their suicide rates are up extra like crazy
like
levels
100% or something.
yeah, over 100% between 10 and 14. Like I didn't even know 10 and 14-year-olds knew how to kill themselves, but apparently they do.
Well,
and they're
they
doing it in
watch,
record numbers.
13 Reasons Why,
Right.
which is supposed anyway, it's another TV
But
show.
I mean
suicide.
that's the point, is that like that social media is like, oh, it's obviously pretty, there's a lot of fucked up like standards that are coming out of the kids and like pressure to be popular and famous on these things. And I think TikTok is like the epitome of that. And it's garbage.
I mean, like social media is obviously, yeah. I think it's a slippery slope, right? Like, and that documentary like is very interesting. Kind of tells you, you know, for example, like it's all designed for you to spend more time on social media, right?
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of us, it's already quite obvious, but even then we're still spending more and more time on the Instagram and the Facebooks and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like kids are gonna be kids. Like TikTok is hip now, but like who knows? Like TikTokers might not be cool in 2-3 years from now.
Definitely won't be.
Well, there you go. So like, why are you being upset? It's like, it's gonna be my mission. It's gonna be me who's gonna stop this TikTok. Me and Trump.
What? No. I just don't like. I fundamentally can't grasp why it's interesting to people.
I mean, I can see it.
How?
It's like, don't you like Instagram stories?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No. Okay. So Instagram stories.
Whoa.
Different.
But you like it though.
No, like
you don't watch it.
Well, I do. If it's I only follow people I actually know.
I know.
Like, I want to see what my friends are up to.
Yeah, but so Instagram stories to me is like, and I'm not a massive Instagram person, and I don't actually watch a lot of Instagram stories. But when it comes to Instagram, the stories are to me the most interesting part these days.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, what are my friends doing at the moment? Like,
I get that, but like, can you not extrapolate that to the point where people are like, well, I like these short little 10-second things, and I would also watch it about people that I don't know.
No, because I wouldn't watch 10-second clips of my friends doing the same dance 100 times a day, let alone strangers.
Yeah, I mean, who says that that's what they're like? Are you saying that kids are just watching only dance videos?
Yes.
Because like, surely there's more
no,
there.
that's the thing. Like, that's why I mean, then I could get it. Like the Vines, like little short things. Like, you know, some people find them funny or whatever.
I thought TikTok is the same as Vine.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But then when I saw what these...
Is this all from like a thing that Alana showed
Yes,
you
it is.
7 months ago?
It is, and it's like she showed me TikTok houses where you get 10 teenagers that look the same, living in a house, and then they just dance over and over.
That's just an extension of what's happening on YouTube, where you have YouTube houses. Like, I totally understand that. Like, that's just where it is. Like, you put 10 YouTube content creators in one house, and they're all generating content, and they're all in each other's videos,
right? But then
like they're all and the kids are all watching each other's videos, so it's a great fucking money making idea.
I
totally understand how they extended that to TikTok.
Yeah, but like it's the point of that. You've got 10 different people in a house making 100 videos a day each, showing up in each other's videos, doing the same fucking thing. It's like and you can't call that content creators because there's no content. Like it's only like literally content, as in there's a video and something is in it, but there's no meat, there's no substance.
But why would they if kids enjoy it? Kids are watching it.
Yeah,
like, they're watching it by the tens of millions.
I know, that's what I don't understand. Like,
just because you don't understand children.
That's what I'm saying. I'm becoming an old person. No, because as a kid, there was no way I would have been
but
interested
there's something
in this.
different between like, okay, I don't understand children, or saying TikTok is bullshit, right? I'm like, all right, I also don't understand TikTok. It's not for me, but like, I get it that these kids are into it.
No, I don't, because like I'm like, as a kid, what would you have been interested in this? Like, think back. Would you have been like, I want to watch random kids do dances?
Dude, I watch random YouTubers make movie like clips about random things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's things like people talking about things. People like it's almost like you're learning something.
I'm the way I think TikTok is, and I might be completely wrong. You might 100% be right, but I feel like TikTok is more than just a dance move. Like, I'm sure a lot of them do dance moves, but because you only have 10 seconds to do things, but like, I'm sure there's more on it. It must be, right?
Well, I mean, from what I saw, that was it.
It's just dance videos.
And I was like, that was enough for me to be like, this is absurd. Like, this is the human race is absurd. Like, if people could see where we've come, like all the crazy shit that's happening in the world, and then what are the kids doing? They're like just dancing for 10 seconds on an app and watching it for millions of views, and then killing themselves. Like,
I'd love to see these kids grow up and go to the club, and then a song pops up, but they only have dance moves for 10 seconds, and then they have to reset or rethink. They only have or maybe the songs are only 10 seconds.
You know, like, I mean, they basically do the same dance move over and over again for 10 seconds. So maybe when I think about it, they're just doing a 5-minute dance, but just in 10-second clips. It's like, they make 100 videos, but they're actually just doing one dance.
There you go. Now you got it. They're just
cutting it up.
It's a collective song. It's a collective dance. All right, well, we'll be back with another one at some point, maybe in 6 months, maybe in 6 weeks.
Like, subscribe, and share, and all that.
See you guys later.
Peace.